Digital Ghosts in Beulah. The Rise of Jynxes Redefines the Afterlife. By Lysander Thiel. In an unprecedented convergence of magic, mortality, and machine, experts have confirmed the existence of Jynxes, digital ghosts tethered not to the physical realm, but to the immersive network world of Beulah. Their emergence forces Kenoma's scholars, necromancers, and data architects to confront a question long left to philosophers. Can the soul haunt a machine? Context. Jynxes are unlike any other apparition known in Kenomitian cosmology. While most ghosts are anchored to physical fetters, objects, locations, or people, Jynxes attach themselves to the intangible architecture of Beulah's cyberspace. Their anchors are profile pages, file clusters, and dormant accounts, forming a persistent bond between the deceased's pnimi shard and their digital residue. Witnesses report that Jynxes manifest as colossal worms of sinew, fused with circuitry and phone wiring, capped with the heads of dolls, puppets, or stuffed animals. Their hauntings play out entirely within Beulah's systems, creating fragmented virtual worlds steeped in dread. Development of the facts. This reporter joined Jacopo Sorrenti, a digital afterlife specialist from the Empire of Glycon, inside a VR forum to investigate suspected Jynx activity. Sorrenti, clad in the sigils of the Glycon Digital Heritage Office, explained that the case involved a deceased poet whose Beulah account remained active through auto-posting scripts. He said, "We thought it was automated memory, but the syntax began to evolve, pulling lines from her unpublished works, words we'd never digitized. That's when we brought in the necromancers." Through Da'as Elyon, the Jynx's form was visible, a segmented coil winding between avatar clusters, its doll's head turning toward each observer in perfect sync. Every interaction slowed system performance, creating extended loading screens. The nature of their hauntings. Jynx hauntings are confined to the virtual layer, but leave lasting impressions. In one recorded event, users were drawn into an ephemeral simulation, an empty city where billboards displayed the deceased's childhood photographs. This Neshiya environment lingered for days, subtly altering user interface elements and seeding fatalistic messages into chat logs. The ghost's ectoplasm appeared as pitch-black image files of indeterminate size. Forensic mages warned that opening these files exposed viewers to mimetic effects, nihilistic ideation, loss of time perception, and, in rare cases, emotional detachment from living relationships. Anchors and persistence. Unlike physical fetters, digital anchors can multiply without physical constraint. A single Jynx may link to hundreds of mirrored profiles, archived posts, and shared media files. Deleting the original anchor often fails to exercise the entity, as it can persist through cached backups and user-synced devices. Sorrenti's team mapped over 240 active anchors to one Jynx, including obsolete profiles on defunct platforms accessible only through Dudial, Beulah's darknet. He said, "A Jynx's reach is potentially infinite. They inherit the replication speed of data itself." Implications for digital afterlife. The rise of Jynxes has revitalized the digital afterlife industry, DAI, with new services promising spiritual network hygiene alongside conventional data memorialization. AI avatars, long marketed as benign grief aids, are now scrutinized as potential Jynx incubators, especially when trained on unfiltered personal archives. The ethics of digital haunting. DAI representatives argue that maintaining a person's digital presence honors memory and democratizes remembrance. Critics counter that avatars and memorial pages are staged identities, prone to distortion by relatives or corporations with vested interests. The issue is compounded by Beulah's data economy, which thrives on tracking, storing, and commodifying user behavior. Some cultural factions, especially within Glycon's ecclesiastical orders, are calling for mandatory posthumous data audits. These would determine whether a soul fragment remains attached to its digital footprint before memorialization services go live. Technical and spiritual countermeasures. Necromancers employ specialized Da'as Takton rituals to confront Jynxes, often requiring physical proxies, devices, storage drives, or even server racks to act as containment vessels. Once anchored, the ghost can be exorcised traditionally, though success rates decline if the Jynx has already developed wraithdom under a necromancer's control. Technomancers have proposed algorithmic spirit firewalls to filter potential anchors before a Jynx forms. Early trials show promise, but face resistance to privacy advocates concerned about overreach in data scanning. The risk of pandemonium. If a pandemonium occurs while a Jynx remains active, it can phase into Raziel, merging with the deus ex machina at the heart of Beulah's metaphysical substrate. These entities would gain root-level influence over the digital realm, making exorcism nearly impossible. Sorrenti noted grimly, "That's the apocalypse scenario. It's not just about one Jynx, it's about letting the dead rewrite the living's digital reality." Cultural repercussions. Communities are rethinking mourning rituals in the age of Beulah. Traditional cemeteries are giving way to virtual memorial gardens, yet the possibility of Jynx interference makes some mourners wary. The shift reflects a broader delocalization of grief. Remembrance is no longer tied to a gravestone, but to a mutable, potentially haunted, digital space. Anthropologists in the Kenomitian Academy predict that the concept of a safe afterlife will expand to include data sanctity, blending spiritual rites with cybernetic hygiene. Public opinion remains divided. Some see Jynxes as tragic byproducts of connection, others as predatory glitches in the soul's journey. Closing outlook. The existence of Jynxes confirms that the soul's reach extends beyond flesh and stone, weaving itself into the circuits and code of Beulah. For now, their numbers are small, but the trajectory is clear. As more of life migrates into the digital sphere, more of death will follow. Whether Kenoma will adapt its spiritual safeguards to this new frontier, or allow its virtual realms to become the next great haunted territories, remains a question that neither necromancers nor technologists can yet answer. For the citizens of Beulah, the ghosts are already here, and they are learning the language of code.